How can you shift frustration into clarity, doubt into confidence, and distraction into focus? Don't brush off discomfort, those uncomfortable experiences, our uncomfortable emotions. These are opportunities, and you want to see if you can shift your perspective to view discomfort as an opportunity for growth. Because when you do that deeper detective work, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to uncover eventually, if you get curious and if you keep digging, and it doesn't have to take that long, eventually you will get to the root cause of why you're feeling the way you're feeling, why this emotion keeps showing up. And the reason it keeps showing up is because there is something there for you to learn. And this happened to me recently. Of course, it's happened to all of us many, many times, but I'll just give you an example of a recent experience that I had. I won't get into the details, but I had it was fine. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it was just a little bit of an uncomfortable situation, and I felt a little unsettled afterwards. And as much of work that I've done, deeper inner work to work through these kinds of things and processing my emotions and letting them eventually fall away and feeling better, this one still kept popping up. And so I got curious and I said, you know what, this emotion, I keep walking myself through this uncomfortable experience again, probably because there's something for me to learn there. And so I started digging, I got curious, and then I was able to put a label on, actually name the way that I felt. Labeling the emotion is powerful. It takes the pressure off of trying to find the solution, and it just brings clarity. And how I felt after coming away, well, during that situation, and then for a little bit, the feeling that was lingering, that was unsettling for me, is that during that experience, I felt bored and unseen. And the reason that it was so impactful for me to be able to make this realization, this connection, is because that is how I used to feel much of the time in my younger years, until I had to do a lot of work. It took me many years. It doesn't have to take you many years, because now when you have the tools, I had to dig to find the tools, but when you have the tools, and I'm giving you these tools, you can just take and apply and just plug it in, plug and play, try it out and see if it works for you. By getting curious, identifying the emotion, and working deeper to understand why it's there. And this feeling of bored and feeling unseen, and just the clarity that, oh, this is why that situation was uncomfortable for you. It's because that's how you used to feel, and you've done a lot of hard work to move past that. And this clarity reminded me that, hey, you're on the right track. You have done so much work, and this is why you are very selective with who you give your time and energy to, who and what. So doing this little bit of detective work, it didn't take very long. Once I actually gave attention to the nagging feeling that was coming up and allowed myself, or gave myself time to sit with it and get curious and process and work through, then it elevated my confidence and my trust in my instincts. And any time that we are dealing with these nagging, uncomfortable emotions, rather than, and just what I mean when I say dealing with it is that it keeps coming up, and so you're dealing with it in that way. It is distracting your focus. So what you want to do is take the time to dig deeper so that you can work through and let go of those uncomfortable emotions. Now, they might still come up, and it's still coming up a little bit for me, but I gave myself a little mantra that I can say to try to just let go of it. But this process that I took myself through, it only took a few minutes. Again, once I stopped and said, hey, this nagging emotion keeps coming up for a reason. Then the process of identifying, oh, because you felt bored and you felt unseen, and that's how you used to feel. So now you're very careful to not put yourself in those situations. And I have a good reason for that, because I have important goals, just as you do, that I'm working toward, and I know you're working toward. And I don't want you to slow down your effort, your pace with a distracted focus. So don't brush off those uncomfortable emotions. Get curious, do the digging, do the detective work, so that you can grow through them and start to shift your perspective around discomfort as an opportunity. Because I promise you, those opportunities that you're waiting for are going to show up when you are ready. And these uncomfortable emotions are opportunities to work through so that you can prepare and equip yourself so that you do deliver. Hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.